So before we get started with the video, I just want to go ahead and say that I officially have a supported creator code now. So if you would like to support me, just go over to the item shop, press supported creator down in the bottom right, and then type in my code. My code will be on the screen now. It is spelled MYFII. Go ahead and press accept. You will see a green check mark pop up. And then in the top right, it should look like this. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into the video. Alright, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the best Fortnite Season 9 controller/console settings. I'm going to be showing you the best sensitivity, controller binds, dead zone, and colorblind options. But before we get started with it, I just want to go ahead and say that if you guys are new around here, make sure you do go ahead and subscribe, as this is exactly what I post on the channel. Settings, tips and tricks, leaks, glitches, pretty much everything Fortnite related. So if you all do want to keep up to date, make sure you do go ahead and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on one of my videos. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into these settings. So going ahead and getting right into settings, the first tab is going to be video, and underneath of it is going to be motion blur. Now on my Xbox One X, I have this tab and I have this option, but on my PlayStation 4, I don't. I'm not too sure why, but if you don't have it, then don't worry about it. But if you do have it, make sure it is turned off. And then getting into game settings, right here, my controller sensitivity is on a 0.7. My controller sensitivity for Y is on a 0.67. My controller targeting sensitivity is on a 0.4. My controller scope sensitivity is on a 0.35. My controller building sensitivity, I am slowly working on getting my building and editing sensitivity up to a 2.0, but right now they are sitting on a 1.7. For this, what you're going to want to do is that you're just going to go ahead and start super low and then build yourself all the way up to max, as that's going to yield the best results and the best gameplay advantage. Getting down here to invert view, of course, it is off. Aircrafts, they're not even really in the game anymore, so I don't even really mess with that setting. My Xbox safe zone is on a 0.4. Anonymous mode off. Hide other player names off. Matchmaking delay off. My HUD scale is on a 0.94. I don't really know where that came from. It's just kind of there. It doesn't really matter though. Show spectator count, I have that on. Show FPS, I have that on, as I want to know how many frames I'm getting, even though the console is locked at 60. Getting down here, mark danger when targeting, I have that on. Sprint by default, I have off. Sprint cancels reloading, I actually have on. Now some people don't like this. I personally like it, as I did come from Call of Duty, and in Call of Duty I did use this all the time. So pretty much if you are about to reload and say you're just topping off your magazine, or you're topping off your shotgun, say you have plenty of ammunition in there, but you're just missing like 1 or 2 shells or just 1 or 2 bullets, and then you start reloading and then someone starts pushing you immediately, you can sprint and it'll cancel your reload and then you're good to go. So that's why I have that on. Tap to search/interact, make sure you put that on. I know a lot of people don't use that, and there's no point to be holding down your open or search button. Like there's no point, so just go ahead and turn it on. You might as well just tap it. Also, if you're reviving a teammate and say your finger slips and then you stop reviving them because you have to hold it, with this you don't have to hold it. All you have to do is tap it and then it'll just do it for you. Toggle targeting, I have it off. Reset building choice, I have on. Aim assist on, of course. Edit mode aim assist, I have off. Turbo building, I have on. Turbo delete in creative mode, I don't even use that, but I have it on. Auto material change, I have on, because say you run out of wood and you have a ton of brick, it'll just automatically switch directly over to your next material if you have any. Controller auto run, I actually have off. Auto open doors, I have off. Auto pick up weapons, I have off. Auto sort consumables to the right. Pretty much what this means is that if you pick up like med kits or shield potions, it'll automatically put them all the way to the right where they should be. Builder Pro builds immediately, I have that on. Make sure you have that on. You're gonna want that. It's just gonna help you get builds up quicker. Controller edit hold time, this doesn't really matter because I have instant editing, because I have custom controller binds, as I'm about to show you in a second. Feedback, I have vibration off, but then again my controller doesn't have rumbles in it, as I have a scuff. Record replays, I have on, but if you want better FPS, then turn it off. There has been proof, like video proof, shown that if recorded replays are off, then you actually get better FPS on console, especially in late game. Record large team replays, I have off, and then record creative mode replays, I have on. That's just for thumbnail making purposes and everything, so you can just turn that off if you don't want it on. Brightness, I have mine on 0.7. If you have not seen my best graphic settings, I will have it linked at the top right now, and I tell you why your brightness should be at 0.7. But if you're not really interested in that, then you can just kind of put it on whatever you want. Sound, I have my music on 10. A lot of times I'll actually just turn it all the way off, as I don't really care for it and it kind of gets annoying. Sound effects volumes at full, voice chats at full, and cinematics is at full. Subtitles I have on, voice chat I have on. Now a little quick tip right here is that if you're trying to talk in game and you can't hear the other player, or you can't hear your friend, turn this off, apply it, and then turn it back on and apply it, and it should fix the problem. I have that problem a lot when I'm trying to play with friends that are on PlayStation, or maybe we just don't want to join an Xbox party. I'll just turn it off and turn it back on, and then you'll be able to hear them. Push to talk off, voice channel, and it's set to party. Pretty much what this means is that if you go into a fill with a friend and you fill a squad and you get 2 randoms, you're not going to be able to hear the 2 randoms, as you will only hear the people in your party. And then voice chat notifications, pretty much what this means is that in the bottom left, whenever someone speaks, it'll show who is speaking. Getting into colorblind options. Now this is a big one. Even though I don't use it personally, I know a lot of people do, and there are some advantages to it. So the only real colorblind mode that even gives you a real advantage is going to be this one, and you're going to want to set it to 5. And what this one does is that this one allows you to see into the storm more clearly. If you want proof, there's like a ton of like Reddit threads that people have discussed that this is the best colorblind option, as it doesn't really mess with the colors of anything too much, but it allows you to see into the storm far better. Like you can see people running probably like 200 meters out that are in the storm like easily. So if you do want to be able to see into the storm, turn this on and put it to about 5. That should be good enough, because if you put it to anything over 5, it's going to start messing up the colors of everything else. Visualize sound effects. This is another one. I'm actually going to be making a separate video on this, so I'm not going to get too in depth on it, but turn it on, just trust me. And then getting into the big one. Now I am going to be telling you guys 2 separate things here. I'm going to be showing you guys the best controller binds for someone with a scuff like myself, or an elite controller, and then for someone that doesn't have a scuff or an elite controller or anything without paddles. I'm going to be showing you guys the best way for you to have instant editing, which is what the main goal here is with custom controller binds. So my custom binds are preset to Builder Pro, and what I do is that, so in order to pull out my builds or switch mode, I just simply press B. Now my back right paddle is programmed to B, so what happens there is that as soon as I press B, it'll pull out my builds. Now the reason why that became a problem with just normal Builder Pro is because whenever I would pull out my build, sometimes I would hold the button for too long, and then I would try to edit the build that I'm trying to place, which would then in turn mess you up and cause you to go into edit mode, and you didn't want that. So what I do is that I press B, it pulls out my builds, but notice how next to it, it doesn't say /edit, because if I press B, all it's going to do is pull out my builds. It's not going to try to edit it. Now you may notice that my A is edit, and the reason why is because that is also another paddle on the back of my controller, but if it wasn't, then I could easily move my thumb from the right thumbstick down to A really quick and press it to be able to edit, or I can just press the paddle on the back of my controller, as my controller has 4 paddles, and then the right on my D-pad is actually my jump. So you may be wondering, you know, what is your jump if it's not A? Well, my jump is right on the D-pad, as I don't really use right on the D-pad for anything. And then you may be thinking, how are you jumping with that? It's just because I only have 1 paddle on the left, and that is my jump. So I have my left paddle, my only left paddle, programmed to right on the D-pad. So to kind of recap, I have 3 paddles. My far left one is jump, or right on the D-pad. My center right one is A for editing, and then my far right one is my switch mode, or my pull out my builds. That I find to be the best one to get used to the quickest. It'll take you maybe a day at max to get used to it. So if you are looking for the best, you know, simplest controller binds for yourself, and you have a scuff or an elite controller, or if you even just have a mod pack, I know mod packs are super cheap. You can get them at GameStop for like 30 or 40 bucks. All it really does that it's just a plug-in, and it pretty much just gives you paddles. So if you don't have one of those and you can't afford a scuff or an elite controller, go out and pick up one of those. They will improve your game 100% just by having paddles. But I do recommend getting a scuff or an elite controller, as it is a really good investment, especially if you are trying to actually get better and you're serious about it. Now moving on, if you don't have a scuff, I find this to be the absolute best way to be able to instant edit. A lot of people use their left thumbstick, or L3, like whenever you push it in and it clicks, to actually edit. So their B will still be to switch, but then their left thumbstick will be A. Now, you may think, well, how would you sprint then? You would go back and you would turn on sprint by default, or pretty much where you don't have to press anything to sprint, you just push your thumbstick forward and you sprint. So what that would do is that you would press B to pull out your builds, you would then press the left thumbstick to edit, and then you would press B again to confirm your edit. So you wouldn't have to worry about you accidentally pulling out your builds and then accidentally going into the edit mode, as you would be completely covered. Now, I believe that is the absolute best way for you to have instant editing with just a normal controller. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I have seen some other people have some kind of like wonky and weird binds, but I'm not really gonna like, you know, talk bad about other people's binds just because some things work for some people. But I do want to know what you guys have, or what you guys use that may use a normal controller that have instant editing. I want to know what you guys use in the comment section below. Now, moving on to my dead zone. My dead zone is on default 0.20. Now on PlayStation it is different, and if you have a controller plugged into a PC it is different. This is just an Xbox controller on an Xbox. These are my normal dead zones. I haven't changed them. I do use Control Freaks on my Scuff. I use the Vortex. The left one is a small, just grippy one, and the right one is a dome tall one. So those are my thumbsticks if you're wondering, and that does affect your dead zone, as a higher thumbstick means the less you have to actually move your thumb, so your dead zone will be affected by that, or just the feel of the game will be affected by that. And there you guys go. Those are my full Fortnite Season 9 settings. Those are going to be the same exact settings that I will be rocking for the rest of the season. If anything changes, or come Season 10 I decide to switch it up, I will definitely make a video and let you guys know. Like I said, if you guys do use a normal controller and you all do have custom instant edit binds, make sure you do let me know in the comment section below what they are. And if you all did enjoy this video and it helps you guys out in any way, do not forget to drop a like to show your support. And if you guys would like to show some further support, make sure you do use my creator code in the item shop. It is myfii. And with that out of the way, hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.